used to like the checks and the adjustments that you are obviously vocalizing to them? How much are they more comfortable with defense in that time?
With the kind of defense we have, you have to get used to it. It takes a little bit of time, but I feel like those guys have done a great job of attacking our game plan each week, and they continue to get better. You know, everything takes time. I mean, even for me, it took me a little bit of time to learn the defense. Just freshman woes, but you know, they on it.
And you were one of those guys that had to wait a little bit to get your turn, and now you're finally starting to get like a lot of playing time. What are the messages that you kind of give those younger guys in terms of just being patient and wait until your number gets called?
Basically that, just you gotta wait your turn. You never know when your number will be called. You know, when I was able to play, I wasn't really expecting it, but when I got out there, I was prepared and ready. And that just come from all the work I put in practice and getting the trust in Coach Smart and the rest of the coaches to be able to put me out there.
I know you're only 3 games in, but a lot of people thought this team maybe was headed for a drop-off with all the guys that went to the NFL. Maybe reconsider, some people after seeing those first 3 games are reconsidering that. Can this team be as good or better than last year's squad, despite pretty massive turnover, the amount of talent that lost?
Yeah, I think so, but that just comes with our standard. And our standard is our motivation. You know, we heard a lot of the things that people said, but we never fed into that. We just continue to work, and I think it's a test of all the hard work that we put in, and the coach is putting a lot of work in with us also. So, yes, sir.
Was it also a sign too the other day when y'all gave up that late touchdown? It seemed like people were, others were going, who cares? It was 48-0, but it seemed like it kind of bothered y'all a little bit.
Definitely bothered me. You know, we never want to give up any points whenever we step out on the field, and we were so close to keeping that goose egg on the board. But you know, things didn't work out. Go back to the drawing board and they just give us something else to fix. But you know, every time we step on the field, we don't want to give up any points, whether it's 7, 3, 2, or 1. So you know, that's just a standard that we hold ourselves to, and we're gonna continue to hold ourselves to that standard as long as we can.
Kirby was praising Kent State and kind of talking about some of the things that have impressed him that he had seen on film. What stands out to you so far that you've seen?
They have a very good offense, and in the conference they play, it's not no pushover at all. You know, they're a team that plays very hard, and they're gonna give us a challenge. We're gonna get their best foot forward, just like we do with any other team, and they'll get ours.
I know you guys have talked about the, I think it's the no one in our end zone kind of like thought process. How did that, I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory, the concept, but how did it start, like as far as a talking point or a mantra?
It kind of started in practice where we used to do, we'll have like red zone periods and things like that. And typically the offense starts on like the 20 or something like that. And those are kind of easy touchdowns in practice, but even when we get down there in the red zone, we don't want to let anybody in our end zone. So that's kind of where it started, and it just took over into the games and things like that. Even in practice, we give the offensive players a little bit tough time getting to the end zone. They get in there every now and then, but we try to keep them out as much as possible. So that's kind of where it came from.
How have you built a culture where you can keep the same hunger after reaching the peak? I mean, that seems like that's always the problem for a team. When you get to where you want to go, it's hard to get there again. How do y'all keep that coaches thing as kind of a players that sort of built that mindset around?
Yeah, I think it's the players, and it comes from the coaches though. The coaches rub off on us very well, and we just take it and apply it to the rest of the players, especially a lot of the younger guys. And, it comes with a lot of leadership that we have within our group. And, we just continue to push that. And, that's the standard we're gonna hold. Like I say, the standard is the motivation. That's our only motivation this year, and that's all we're trying to achieve. We're trying to achieve our standard. The standard that we have us to be #1 in the nation. That's what we want to be. Nothing less, anything less than that, we're disappointed.
Coach Muschamp obviously has a different title this year, but he's working more and more with the DBs than last season. What is it like? How would you describe him as just a leader and a coach?
Yeah, like I said before, I love Coach Muschamp. He pours so much into us, including the young guys, and he rubs us off on us very well. I love Coach Muschamp. Very wise. He knows a lot of football, and I've taken a lot from him ever since he's been here. And I feel like he's made me a better player. He continued to work with us, and we're gonna continue to get better.
Chris, is that the national title ring around your neck?
Oh no, this like a little chain I got. Kind of stem from my Instagram name. My Instagram name like Soldier Chris. I didn't really think nothing of it, but some of the other players around here, they started calling me Soldier, and it took on the name of its own. I just got a little soldier hat, to just kind of carry on my nickname and stuff like that.
And when did that start? That nickname? Recently or a while back?
It didn't start recently. It's been going on for probably about like 2-3 years now.
Okay.
I'd say. Just like first, my friends started calling me Soldier, and some of the coaches call me Soldier every now and then. It's just something that some fun. It's just fun to be a part of. So, yeah.
Speaking of jewelry, when you got your national championship ring, how often have you put it on or taken it out?
I think I put it on probably 3 times, not nearly as much as I should have yet. But yeah, I let my dad wear it sometimes. I let my little sister wear it when I go back home. We got 3 rings total, so I gave my dad one of the ones that we got. And yeah, I just like to look at it when I come home. You know, it sits right there on my little speaker when I get home. You know, I sometimes just sit there and stare at it. You know, can't believe what happened, but it's definitely a great experience to be able to experience all that. You know, I might bring it out next time I come up here. I might have it on for y'all. So.
What were the other 2 rings?
We got one for the Orange Bowl, real nice black ring, and then we got a basic CFP one that we get from CFP, and then we got our own like national championship ring that the team gave us and stuff like that. So yeah, 3 rings, yeah, they did it big for us for sure.
I always wondered this, but when you get rings like that, and obviously it's like precious to you, and they're pretty fancy and bulky. Like, is it hard to actually just like wear it walking around normal?
Yeah, that's the kind of thing. Like, it's hard to just wear it on your hand. You know, they're so big and clunky. So you know, I just have it as a thing and nice to look at. Got a nice clean box in it, so I just sit it in there, and like I say, I just look at it every now and then. You know, enjoy, cherish the moments, and go back to that moment because it was a great time for us.
The Money Mom necklace that Coach Brown gives away. As a defensive back, what does it mean to win that, and where did that sort of come? Where did that that idea sort of come from?
That came from him. You know, he had that when he got here. And he just kind of like let us know like each week the best DB they gonna get to wear it. So that's just a little bit extra incentive to want to be the best DB out of the week. And it's changed hands 3 times since the season started. So you know a lot of DBs have been eating lately. It's a lot better than my chain. You know his thing a lot more, it costs a lot more. But I love being able to wear it. I like having the layers on with mine and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just an extra incentive from Coach Fran for us to be able to do good as a defensive back core. And you know I think that helps us build a competitive balance within our team.
What have you seen out of these safeties so far? I mean, I believe Dan got it week 2, and then Malachi got it last week. What's to say that you guys 3 safeties have won the DB of the week award so far?
It's definitely good. Coach Boone, Coach Muschamp has been putting in a lot of work with us, so it's definitely good. But like I said, we're gonna continue to work. You know, we know the job's not finished. And, you know, we have a good opponent coming up ahead of us, and we're just gonna continue to work. We're going to the doctor today. Gonna fix a lot of things we have, and hopefully another safety can win it. So yeah.
We saw Darius Smith warming up with the defensive backs the other day. Number one, have you ever played with a safety 6'5", and how does he look? And then the time he's been out of the week.
I've never played with a safety that big. He looks huge out there. You know, he's got a lot of range and real tall wingspan. He's doing pretty well. You know, he's kind of trying to get up with us, but you know, he's doing really well. He gets a lot of extra work after practice. He asks me a lot of questions and things like that, so I try to help him out as much as I can, and he's going to help our team in that area for sure.
How much further does he have to go, in your opinion, to really kind of be a good contributor at that star spot on the Sunday?
Not too much sure. You know, he just pretty much got out there, but you know, he's going to continue to work with us, and we're going to continue to work with him, and you know, I think he can do a lot of great things for our team.
And speaking of starter, Coach Smart told us that Williams is not going to be with the program the rest of the year. Not having him, obviously, Javon has done a great job. How was that spot today?
It's definitely going to hurt us, but like I said, that's a question for Coach Smart to handle. You know, we're just going to continue to move forward as a team and plug and play how best we can.
Anything about the job Javon has done to surprise you at all?
Oh, no. You mean like his play?
Yeah.
Oh, no, not at all. Like I say, Javon, one of the toughest football players I've ever seen in my life. And just the way he works day in and day out, man, is so impressive. And nothing surprises me about any of the guys we have, especially Javon. You know, he's such a hard worker. He got such a strong mind, and you know, he's willing to work and learn every day in and day out. So, nothing surprises me about him at all.
What have you seen from Oscar Delp, especially him growing since the start of fall camp and even into the season now?
Yeah, another pretty tough player. He makes a lot of good catches in practice as well, as you see on Saturday, and he just continued to work with that tight end group. He learned a lot of things from Brock and Darnell and Coach Harley. They pour a lot into him, and you can see the improvements that he made as the season goes on.
Chris, what have you seen from Tacko as he's gotten more and more comfortable this year?
Yeah, Tacko, you know, another great player. I can't speak a lot of players enough. We got tons of great players, but he's another great player, very hard worker, always eager and ready to learn. And he's getting a lot of confidence back in his game, and you know he's definitely been helping us out lately a lot too. So as expected, so it's not anything I expected at all. So.
How important is just having a guy like him, especially with the depth at nickel, just going forward?
It's always important to have depth as a team, and you know that's something that Coach Smart preaches to us a lot. And, you know, being able to rotate and have certain guys come in and make plays for us is always good. It's going to fare good for us in the long run throughout the season.
We've got time for about 2 more questions.
Christopher, you and William, is he all right?
Yeah, that's my dog. Yeah.
He's not going to be back for the team.
Yeah, he's all right. Yeah. Just certain things happen, but you know, like I said, we got to keep moving forward as a team. You know, that's a question for Coach Smart to handle. We can't speak too much on it, but you know, that's my guy, and I love him for sure.
Christopher, have you ever? I was going to say, have you ever seen Brock do something on the practice field? We see him do a lot of things that are pretty spectacular on game days. Has he done some Brock Bowers? Has he done some stuff like in practice?
Of course, yeah.
Like different, I mean.
Yeah, definitely. He's a different type of guy. You know, that's the kind of guy he is. He does a lot. He has a lot of amazing catches in practice all the time. And like I said, it's no surprise when he gets out there on Saturday and does those same things. And you know, it's just a sight to see. Man, he's an amazing player, and he's always consistent. Probably one of the most consistent players I've ever seen in my life. Just every play, he never takes a play off. You know, always going full throttle, always going hard. You always see him running just as fast as you seen him running on Saturday. So it's no surprise at all.
All right, Chris, thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.